Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Remember, you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another AB Daily News with the hockey coach, Guru Coach Frenchy. Today, episode number 392. What a minute, coach. First of all, we're going to talk about the AB main camp. Following by the big trade between the Vancouver Canucks and the Montreal Canadiens. And finally, I'm going to talk about the AB three biggest question for the upcoming season for the Montreal Canadiens. But before we start, we invite you, please don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show, and leave us a comments about this episode. And let's start talking about my first subject of the day. My first subject of the day is about the Montreal Canadiens make a trade with the Vancouver Canucks yesterday. And the Montreal Canadiens got Tanner Pearson and the third round pick 2025. In return, Vancouver get the veteran goaltender Casey DeSmith. Pearson played with the Vancouver Canucks last year, only 14 games after he got an injury. Scored 1 goal, 4 assists for a total of 5 points. He was drafted by the Los Angeles Kings in 2012, 30 overall pick. What bring to the Montreal Canadiens, and the benefit of that is a Pearson bring experience, leadership inside the Montreal Canadiens, and we know he's on the final year contract. Possible at some point the Montreal Canadiens could trade Tanner Pearson at the trade deadline, and Montreal could get something in return, another asset. This is another big trade again for the Montreal Canadiens. They got Pearson and the third round pick. This is pretty much what you know about this trade. If you want to hear a little bit more about that trade, you can watch my other video I made last night, just after the trade between the Montreal Canadiens and the Vancouver Canucks. Under this video, I will put the link. You can click on it and you can watching this video. But we're not done yet. We have other news to talk about. But before we get there, I would like to hear from you. What do you think about the trade between the Montreal Canadiens and the Vancouver Canucks? Let's move on for my second subject of the day. My second subject of the day is about the main camp start September 20, 2023. We got 72 players invited by the Montreal Canadiens. With the 72 players, we got 39 forward, 23 defensemen, 10 goaltender. 49 players are under contract with the Montreal Canadiens. 13 are under the American Hockey League, the Laval Rocket. Then you got 4 players were invited on the tryout basic. And then finally, 6 players are not signed to a contract with the Montreal Canadiens. And this is going to start, of course, Wednesday. During that day is going to be the medical and fitness testing. You can watch the press conference for Martin St-Louis at 11 o'clock. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's almost the same schedule. Scrimmage early in the morning, A and B. And then you have scrimmage afternoon, C and D. And during that day, you have other practice for different group for the Montreal Canadiens, and every day Martin St-Louis is going to do a press conference. Don't forget the game between the red and the white team Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time at the Bell Center. You can watch this game online on the website of the Montreal Canadiens. And finally, the first game, exhibition game for the Montreal Canadiens is Monday, September 25th at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, when they host the New Jersey Devils. Almost every 2 days, they're going to have an exhibition game for the upcoming week. We know Montreal is going to play 6 games preseason just before the start the upcoming season 2023-2024. Let's move on now, guys, for my other news we got today on this episode. And I'm talking about my 3 biggest questions for the Montreal Canadiens for the upcoming season 2023-2024. First of all, I want to talk about the development. For me, the Montreal Canadiens with the young guns, they have 5 players. I believe they are the core, the heart of the Montreal Canadiens for the future. I'm talking about Suzuki, Sakoski, Cooley, Caulfield, and Kirby Doc. This is where the Montreal Canadiens make the foundation for this team. Without progression and development, this could be a very bit difficult for the Montreal in the future. So it's really important for the upcoming season, those 5 players develop, and other players for sure, like Jekai, Kovacevic, Harris, and you know what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, those 5 players need to be sure to continue to progress and develop for the upcoming season if Montreal want to have a great year. My second biggest question, guys, is about their health. And the health, guys, I'm talking about, it's about the key players. And I'm just talking about the key players, the 5 players. 4 of them did not finish the season with the Montreal Canadiens last year. Kirby Dach, Caulfield, Cooley, and Sakoski. This is very important for the upcoming season. The Montreal Canadiens players stay healthy. Montreal make a change on the mid-skull staff. But if they want the Montreal Canadiens perform, this team need to be healthy. For the last 2 seasons, Montreal are the number 1 with the most game missing by their team with its front players. So this is something, if Montreal want to become better for the upcoming season, they need to be sure they stay healthy. My third biggest question, guys, is the goalies. For me, this is important for the goalies perform. Last year, Jake Allen struggled. We know what Samuel Montembeault did the second half. Question is, can he repeat again? Without performance of both goaltenders, Montreal going to struggle during the season. And this is very important. Montembeault and Jake Allen have a better save percentage at the end of the year with a better goal against average. I understand it's a team concept, but we want to be sure those both goaltenders perform at their best for the upcoming season if Montreal want to be successful. Now, you know who I am. I love to over-delivery. And I have another question for you for the upcoming season for the Montreal Canadiens if they want to be successful. I'm talking about the special team. Montreal Canadiens in the last 2 seasons, they finished at the bottom of NHL for the power play and for the PK. This is 2 areas Martin Saint-Louis need to improve for the upcoming season if they want to become successful. If not, they're going to be the same result and the same outcome at the end of the year. 4 biggest question for the upcoming season for the Montreal Canadiens. The development need to be held. Be sure the performance of goaltender, and they need to improve the number of the special team for the season 2023-2024. I would love to hear from you guys. Let me comments about my news of the day, the main cam, and the biggest question for upcoming season, or possible about the trade between the Vancouver Canucks and the Montreal Canadiens. And that's conclude all the subject we have on this episode. Thanks for watching another video of the Habs Daily News with the hockey coach, Guru Coach Frenchy. But before we leave, we invite you, please don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show, and leave us a comment about this episode. And of course, you have greatness inside of you. And we wish you an amazing, great, blessing day, everybody.